Thank you guys for putting this together. And I can tell you this is we've been doing these for probably about 3 weeks now. And every time we go to a room, they're full like this. To me, that shows a lot of interest. So people are fed up with what's going on. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of my background. 1981 graduate of Elyria West High School. By the time 1982 rolled around, I had my first daughter, married my wife, and we've been married for 44 years. I worked at PC Campana. I was going to LCC Community College for civil engineering technology. And at that time, I applied for apprenticeship with IBW Local 129. And it was probably the opportunity in my life that I was given. Mr. Dietrich sitting over here, Shorty, he was on the committee when I got chose. And I had the fortune of working for me with being the chef. I can tell you guys that. But what I would say is when I got accepted into my apprenticeship, and it was encouraged by our apprenticeship committee and also our business manager at the time. You were supposed to get involved in my local union. We were supposed to get involved in the communities. And by that, I got involved in my local union. I served all the offices coming up, executive board, vice president, president. And unfortunately, my business manager passed away in office and I was appointed. So I became the business manager of IBW Local 129. And because of that, that's what put me into the community. And in this community here in Amherst, the Mayor Higgins was here. We helped out with the festivals that were downtown. Shorty or Mr. Higgins would call and say, we need help down here getting this electrical done, and we would get some guys to help. Out of that, in 2007, I was offered an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. What my opportunity was go to Washington, D.C. for the IBW, which is 750,000 members. I was charged with putting a grassroots mobilization program together for the IBW. And out of that, I got to travel the country, and I never realized how blessed we were in this state, in this county, when in 2007, we controlled just about everything as Democrats. Over that time, I was back and forth. I remained having a house here in Amherst. My daughter lived right up around North Main. But I came back and forth every other weekend for 15 years because my wife negotiates probably better than anybody in this room. And out of that, we came home because our family was here. And I'm fortunate my daughter and 2 granddaughters are here. So out of that, 7 years into that, I did that. And I got offered to be my international president of chief of staff, which was you ran the day-to-day operations for the IBW, which is 750,000 people, every state plus Canada. And we covered Puerto Rico. It was an honor of a lifetime. It was a very, very challenging role. And in Washington, D.C., things really don't get tough. And everybody in this room kind of knows that. I have a little saying, it's a 75-mile radius around by Riyadh. So in 2022, right before that COVID hit, I had to get my 15 years in to be able to retire. As I said, my wife negotiates very well. She said, it's time for us to move back home because this is home. In 22, I moved back home, started attending the commissioners meeting, watched what was going on. Matt had just lost, and our county has gone backwards ever since then. So in 2024, I decided I could not watch what they were doing. I ran within 1% of trying to unseat Dave Moore, which is the problem in this county. And I go to every meeting. I follow up on all the budgets. I go all the time. Because I think you need to go there and you need to see what they're doing, and they need to see you there to know that you're going to challenge. So when this election came up, I decided I'm going to put my back in. I think I have the skills. I know one thing is they'll never outwork me. I'm going to go on 3 major issues that I think we should talk about. The first one will be the budget. I was fortunate to attend all their budget hearings at the county, and they were not very truthful when we were there. They told everybody to get their 2025 budget numbers, and then within about 3 weeks, just about everybody, Mr. Snodgrass knows, they just cut them down to old numbers. My second one would be is we need to get repaid for the mall. They want us to forget this issue. They owe us $13.9 million. We need to get that money back. Will help our deficit. The last one is the data center, and I live in Brownhelm Township now. The sewer line is going to be past my house. The data center is going to be in my backyard. But what I think is the way they did this over 5 or 6 years, they never communicated with the community. And out of that, we're going to get something. So that's been going on for 5 or 6 years. I will tell you is it's awful hard to stop when you get to that point, but how do we lessen the impact? And I would just say to you is I have a little bit to give. I'm retired now. I have a full time I can give to this. It is going to be pretty tough the first 2 years of this because we're going to have to take on a fight of 2 commissioners. And I think I'm ready to take that fight on. But the day we win, you need to figure out how we're going to get that neck positioned. What I would say to you is I'd ask you to support Brian Baker May 5th for county commission.